Long Ballad is a incredible drama. It came on this year. I watched it already completely, and I believe it should have had a part two, but since it's already ended pretty well and it had a great start and had a great ending, it's full of a lot of action. It has so much going on. But in the beginning, it starts out with a young princess who loses her home, her family, by the hands of her uncle, who she's pretty much raised by. She's very close with her uncle, and she's not very close with her father. Eventually, her uncle kills her father, and somehow her mother dies, and she believes that her uncle killed her mother as well. There seems to be a lot of misunderstandings between the uncle and the niece in this series. But eventually, the princess goes to seek revenge out on her uncle. But at the beginning, she is running for her life to hide from her uncle, who wants to capture her to keep her as a prisoner, right? So that she would never become a threat to the throne, because her father was once the king. This princess running from home, trying to escape for dear life. Nowhere is safe. Nowhere she goes. But everywhere, she becomes a new person. She gets this new identity. She saves people no matter where she goes. She fights wars. She's courageous. She's bold. She fights for what she believes. She fights for people she loves. She's selfish, but in caring. She it's a lot going on with this one. This is Dilraba, starring Lee Changa. That's what they call her most of the time in the episode. But she has many forms of different names because she moves around. And when you're on the run for your life, you're having to start life everywhere because you're trying to stay away from being captured by the guards of the kingdom, the capital, or whatever you want to call it. So she's running for her dear life. Not only that, she eventually gets caught by the enemy. After a battle she fights, the enemy takes her to their homeland, and have her as a slave. The slave becomes more of a military strategist or counselor. She moves up in advance. Slowly do these two develop a romance relationship. Her and the son of the enemy develop a strong love relationship and connection. These two battling out together. They had their differences and misunderstandings between each other, eventually coming together and forming a greater relationship. So these two are bonded, and eventually these two have to join together to save the entire kingdom, joining all the nations and all the divided countries together as one to fight as one, so they can fight against the greatest enemy of all. Will these people pull together? Will she get the one she loves and also save her kingdom? Will she get her revenge she seeks? Or will she make peace with what happened? You just have to see. You have to watch this. But it's a Long Ballad. It's pretty great. It's a lot of things going on in here. It's starring Dilraba. Dilraba is Lee Changa, the princess of the king who dies by the brother hands, and Lee Changa on the runs of her life. Eventually her focus is mainly seeking revenge, but eventually she gains a lot of mentors along the way, and she learns some new things and learns to find out what she lives for and what she's fighting for. So things change for a better way for her.